Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Crossland. I'm the lead communicator at On Growing Works, and I have the great pleasure of speaking with Ben Dunn from Verge Permaculture today. Ben, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
This is really cool. So I want to give a bit of a preface about what are we doing, why are we chatting today? So essentially, On Growing Works and Verge Permaculture have teamed up to film a series of 4 short videos. And this is coming at the end of an awesome conference that you guys just completed this weekend, Hope, Knowledge, and a Plan. So we wanted to dive in and talk to you more and keep the conversation going.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Thanks so much. And of course, before we dive into the questions, a bit of shameless promotion. On Growing Works, just in case you're not familiar with us, but you're watching this video, we are a creator of sustainable living spaces. So whether that is an indoor space, an outdoor space, whether you need a plan, a design, so if you need a landscape, a custom home, a renovation, a retrofit, we're your team. So Ben, do you want to give a brief overview of Verge as well, just in case we have people tuning in who might not know who you guys are?
Yeah, thanks. So Verge Permaculture was originally founded by Rob and Michelle Avis almost a decade ago, and we've grown to be, I'd say one of the more well-known permaculture design education organizations in Canada. So we provide permaculture design education. We do passive solar greenhouse design education, rainwater harvesting design education. So really helping give people the tools and the skills that they need to go off and then do some of the things that On Growing Works might do for you, for example. So to go out and design your own gardens, to grow your own food. That's all what permaculture design is about, and that's what we help you with.
That's super cool. I love the overlaps between the companies and just kind of that common mission of let's make the world a better place. So yes. I love it. That's amazing. So like I said, we're filming 4 videos. And so we hope everyone will tune into them. You'll be able to catch them on our social media channels, both On Growing Works and Verge, as well as both of our newsletters. We're looking at getting them up on our website. And we just wanted to keep this conversation going and get to know the Verge team a little more and their plans after this amazing conference this past weekend. So what we're going to do right now is dive into our first question, which Ben has so graciously agreed to answer today. So Ben, let's put you on the hot seat here and dive into it a little bit and do it. So Hope, Knowledge, and a Plan. This great conference happened this weekend. It was 3 days. What was your biggest takeaway? And then I'd love to hear more about how many people attended and just give me kind of an overview of your thoughts on it.
Yeah, so for anybody who didn't attend this past weekend, we just hosted the conference that Michelle just mentioned, the Hope, Knowledge, and a Plan Online Permaculture Summit. And we did this to give people exactly what the title suggests. We wanted to give people hope for the future, knowledge about how to, begin thinking about a lot of the environmental issues that we're faced with today, and then a plan for how to actually go out and get started and begin making a change in your community. So we had 21 sessions. We invited leaders from around the world, designers, consultants, educators, authors, to really pick apart this question. And I was one of the hosts along with my teammate, Mitch Rollick, and then of course, Rob Avis himself. And it was truly an incredible event. I know my brain was buzzing all weekend long with so many of the insights and the question of what was my biggest takeaway from the summit. That's quite a difficult one because there was so much thrown at us and so many things that are still stewing in my mind and that I'm still digesting. But I think one of the biggest takeaways for me is the importance of just getting out and getting started. I know Stefan Sivkowiak gave a session on how to design your permaculture lab, which I thought was really awesome. And it was a testament to the fact that, getting started with permaculture, beginning to use permaculture in what you do, you're not going to be perfect right out the get-go. I know when I was first getting started in this space a year ago, I was overthinking everything. I'm like, oh, I'm ready to do permaculture and it's going to be perfect, and I'm going to have my swales and I'm going to have my companion planting. But that's not really what it's about. It's not about a set of prescriptions that you're supposed to plug and play regardless of where you are in the world. Permaculture is a design system. It is a tool. You use permaculture in what you do. So regardless of whether you are a designer, regardless of whether you're an educator, if you're a business owner, you can use permaculture in everything that you do. It is a mindset that you bring to the equation. It allows you to see opportunity where you otherwise might not have seen opportunity. So just the importance of getting started. If you're feeling, some kind of itch, if you're feeling like you want to make a change, I have found permaculture to really address a lot of the existential angst I had as someone in their early 20s coming into the world, really thinking about what is going to be, my place, our place as a species on this planet, and then how can we begin to make a difference. And permaculture for me has really provided that sense of meaning and purpose that I wasn't finding in any other narratives that were available in the mainstream. So one of my biggest takeaways for sure was definitely just the importance of getting started. If you have a small yard, go out and plant a garden. Jeff Lawton has an amazing quote: all the world's problems can be solved in a garden. And I think that's so true across so many dimensions.
No, that's a very thoughtful response. And I so love your insight. And I love when you say that it can apply to like individuals, like businesses, everything, right? Because I often think of, I own a condo here, I don't have a yard, and I'm often wondering, how do I integrate these principles into my life? And I often think of permaculture as, I need to own this huge farm or something, right, to be able to do it. So I love that stance that Verge takes, that this is really applicable to everyone.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, no, it's so true. Like Carmen Lamador gave a talk over the weekend. She does urban permaculture, and she had some great statistics on the world's population, and how many of them live in cities. And it's like overwhelmingly we live in urban environments, and so a lot of people don't have that space. But that doesn't mean that you can't use permaculture. Like permaculture is a set of principles and a set of ethics. It's earth care, people care, and fair share. So how can you direct your actions and your behavior in a way that kind of aligns with this, and then using the design tools in your life? So you live in a condo, maybe you want to have a little, balcony garden, and that's how you're using permaculture, and you're composting. And it's those little steps that really allow things to snowball, I think, and then it opens up opportunity for the future. Or if there's a community garden, that's a great way that you can get started. Community for sure is a really, really huge one. Being able to connect with other people locally who share your same vision and values, and then allowing those effects to kind of ripple out. Like, I think that's how we need to make, or that's how change happens is, it starts with an individual, and then a few individuals, and then a community, and then people see the impact that you're having, and it really allows for more change to occur. So I think that's very true.
No, that makes perfect sense. And again, we touched on the name of the conference. So hope, knowledge, and a plan. And the conference inspired that hope, because we are in some really difficult times as we look at predictions with climate change, and we're already seeing the impact on our planet and increased populations and all that. And then having that knowledge, and then of course making that plan. And so what I'm wondering from the conference is, what is the feedback you've been hearing, or even in, I tuned into some of the conference and just seeing the comments on the live YouTube stream of, people chiming in. Do people feel like they have a plan coming from the conference? And, kind of what is the plan, or is it individual of kind of how we go forward? We all tackle some of the biggest environmental challenges of our time.
I think, my sense, having been in the YouTube chat room and answering the hundreds of emails that we got after that conference, is for most people, it seemed like just the conversations we were having weren't anything they had ever heard before. right? Like there were people talking about the work that they're doing in semi-arid environments where they get under 5 inches of rain a year, and they are, building water harvesting features, and they're growing food in deserts and in desolate places, and creating economies and supporting food security. And it's like, these just aren't things that are talked about in mainstream media. It's not on people's minds. We just kind of go, at least in a Western context, of course, where we have that opportunity to just kind of go through our day-to-day and not really think about it. It seemed like just that conversation, people were so excited about, like it really tapped into a need that a lot of people felt. Like I got dozens of emails after the conference saying that it just awakened something in them. And I had, it was such a privilege to be able to read those emails and to read all these heartwarming messages of people saying like, hey, this summit, filled a void in my life. It showed me that, Warren Brush, one thing he said is like, I can't remember, I wish, it was really funny how he said it, but he said like, there's 3 things that we need to do to really get momentum in permaculture. And the first thing is demonstration. We need more people doing this. And the second thing is demonstration. And then of course, the third thing is demonstration.
Yeah.
And when he said demonstration twice, I thought it was a mistake. And then he said it a third time. And it's like, yeah, people don't see this. Like you don't see people doing stuff like this, like planting the rain, building swales and storing water in the ground. And, a lot of these sustainable, if not regenerative practices that permaculture promotes and that the people during the summit are actively living and devoting their lives to. And furthermore, making a living doing it, because that's a really important thing. It's really easy to say, oh, like, let's all go out and garden, or let's go do all these permaculture things. But then, we need to support ourselves. We need to make money. We live in cities and we have rent and we have mortgages and we have families. And so that's a really important thing. And I think that, that was a big thing for me when I got started with permaculture. It's like, okay, here's something that I can do that is actively benefiting the planet, and it's a way to make money at the same time.
Absolutely. You need both. That's the reality of the society we live in, right? So we don't want these videos to be too long, but I guess to wrap up with the final question for our first video here, what was kind of the one thing you wanted people to leave the conference with, that one kind of piece of knowledge, and if you could reinforce it now? And I know I'm putting you on the spot with this one.
No, we wanted people to know that you can make a difference. You listening right now can make a change. It can be anybody in any way, however you're applying it in your life, like just beginning to learn about permaculture, like pick up a book about permaculture, and it will awaken something in you. Like if you start to go through the ethics and the principles, like I know it did in me. And so what we really wanted people to see is that you can make a change, and I think that I hope that conference provided that for people.
I definitely think so. And yeah, the amount of work that went into it from your team, and just the detail and the thought, and you can really tell the passion behind it from the speakers, from Verge, and from everyone who was there. So kudos to you on a very successful event.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a real honor to be a part of it.
Awesome. Well, I think this wraps up our first video. So everyone stay tuned to both Verge Permaculture's channels as well as On Growing Works, and we'll be back with our additional 3 videos. Thanks, everyone.